All right, so this is the area that we have to clear. Got a right there an old transmission, couple of tires. Gonna have to break that down and process it. It's a coil from a household air conditioner. And then there's Julia's truck, which we're gonna have to move. We're gonna have to cut this pole out right there. And it looks like this tree right there is gonna have to go potentially. And then we got a bunch of scrap steel. But yeah, it's a project, and y'all can't really tell, but this grass is like 5 or 6. Actually, I think it's closer to 8 years or so of growth, where it's grown up and then fallen over, matted down a bit, and then that process is just repeated, for about 8 years. So it's a thick, squishy carpet that I'm gonna have to get in there with a weed eater and knock it down. So without further ado, let's get to the weed eating. big ass rope. Oh. Dude, this is totally like, what is that, CrossFit rope. That's straight up what it is. Oh yeah, I forgot my brother was doing CrossFit for a little while. So this is his, oh my gosh, this is CrossFit rope. Bet you someone's missing that. Looks like the screen's busted. I'll give it a try later. Maybe it still works. Doubtful. I'm getting light on this 2-cycle gas. It's a mixture of gas and 2-stroke engine oil, which I've got more oil, so if we are getting light on gas, or if we do end up needing more, I can definitely make that happen. So this is one of the new safety nozzles. Before I surgerized it, you had to like depress something and then push down on this. It was a whole process. And I ended up with more gas like on other stuff than the old ones where you could just pour it. Let's see, what's the angle on that look like? There we go. You know, the old gas tanks, you could just pour. It was just an opening and just pour. And it was up to you, the human with the brain, to recognize I need to stop pouring. But apparently people are too stupid for that these days. So now we've got these safety cans that you spill. I spill a little bit of gas every time I use them. And I've been using gas cans, well, fuck, I can't even remember, like, my whole life. And I don't know, maybe it's smart person proof, or maybe I'm a massive idiot. Don't know. All right, let's get y'all back up here where you can see what's going on. And I'm gonna get my music playing again. There we go. Got a coil spring, that's gonna be some knives. And then this here, I do believe, is a train track. A little piece of rail. So we'll probably work that into an anvil. Maybe make it specialized in some way, shape, or form. Lots of garbage. Lots of little bags and shit that have just showed up. Then there's that CrossFit rope over here. And I don't know if you like have really realized, but like right over here, you know what, let me check the camera lens. There we go. So like right there, and then right there. It doesn't really show up well on camera, but there's a lot of high spots and holes. So we're gonna have to process that AC unit. We'll recover the copper and then sell all the components for scrap. Underneath the rope right there, you can see that's the sheathing that was on that unit. We've got a couple of old tires. I think they both have rims that'll actually work on my truck. And then the transmission from that old Geo I had. And there it is. Did it all with that. All right. Suppose I should pause my music. You know, I could just do this. So, this is the area that we're going to be building the shop in. During the summer, we'll probably get, you know, without any sort of structure, we'll probably end up with 3, maybe 4 workable hours of shade, natural shade. Not really enough. So thankfully Grandpa has offered to pay for some type of shelter, whether it be one of those like, you know, metal ones that they come out and like set up in a day, or if it works out cheaper, I might actually get some like 4x6s, 4x6s, and sink 8 of those, and then build, you know, a traditional A-frame roof. And if I did that, the benefit is it's very easy for me to mount cameras every which way. The cross supports, because I forget what they're called, but the ones that are my thumbs, that's good for storing stock. So there's a lot of benefit to that with ease of use and customization. But those steel ones, there's 2 positives. One is they are easily movable. So when Julia and I move, Grandpa's like, you know what, go ahead and take that with you. I'm never going to use it. We can literally, you know, disassemble it and have it shipped to where we're moving, for probably cheaper than we could buy one there. I mean, that'd be something we'd check. And it's not completely without its merits as far as customization. It's steel. I'm a welder. So I'm a welder who has access to a welder. So I can always, you know, rig up custom rigging for the camera. It just is gonna require, you know, welding onto those beams, or, you know, C-clamps clamp down, because I mean camera gear isn't wicked heavy, so I could just, you know, C-clamp it down. And inside of those like the Insta barns or whatever, there's a gusset brace right there. So you could actually still store stock, you know, between those gusset braces. So as y'all probably saw while we were cleaning this out, it is horribly uneven. And I cleaned out a much wider area than where the smithy itself is going to be, because it's all very dry, very dead grass. And so last thing I want is to have a just terrible, you know, string of accidents and end up, you know, setting the whole freaking field right here on fire. And so what I did was I scalped this area. If you're unfamiliar with the term outside of, like, you know, Custer's Last Stand, Indian scalping, you know, Native American scalping, basically you are turning your cutters, your string sideways so that it digs into the ground a little bit. And so you're literally taking off as much material, as much grass as you can. So I'm gonna have to come through here and, with a leaf rake and rake this all up, because this is just a tinder box. You could drop a match here and it would be off to the races. So I'm gonna have to come in here and use that leaf rake, rake up all the grass. And if the wind dies down a little bit, we've had rain recently enough, I'll probably just burn that grass, in all honesty. Then the mesquite tree over there that we were working around, I'm definitely gonna trim up this side of it, the side closest to where the smithy's gonna go. I think I'm gonna leave the rest of it though, and maybe even see if I can start trying to train it away from where the smithy's gonna go.